Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. So today I went out. Beautiful sunshine, winter sun, and it was just so beautiful. And I enjoyed a lot. And I took some. I brought my gimbal and did some. Video footage. So this one, I think we will do a voiceover. And right now I am closing my eyes, so I hope you are still awake, because I am about to tell you the story of Apollo and Daphne. This one is suggested by a very dear friend, same as you, from our community, from our YouTube channel comment. One friend said, would you like to talk about Apollo and Daphne? I have talked about this. That was many years ago. I read a book. Now, as I learned a little bit more. Now I am not reading a book. I close my eyes. I wrote a few words: birds, little python, and we will just freely go from there. So Apollo and Daphne's story is such a profound, touching, romantic, and heartbreaking story, and we need to start from the very beginning, the birth of Apollo, how Apollo came to be. So the Almighty God of the universe, Zeus, he already had a wife, Hera, which is his sister. But at that time, at the beginning of the story, beginning of the universe, there were not enough human resource. So Zeus just get along with her sister, very beautiful. So she took her as his wife. And Zeus has a wife, the most beautiful woman at that time. But Zeus had a habit of looking around, sniffing around. And there was a day Zeus found a beautiful lady. And her name is Leto. The other day I mentioned Jared Leto, 30 Seconds to Mars, and this is how I remember the name Leto. Has nothing to do with 30 Seconds to Mars. Okay, come back to this story. So I have kind of checked. Leto is actually one generation higher, one generation older than Zeus. It's kind of Zeus is fooling around with his auntie, that kind of generation. Leto was a Titan in the Titan class, in the class of Titan, and Zeus is actually the class of Olympian. Same as we say class of 2025, class of 2024, but it's the generation difference. So anyway, Zeus, he just a very emotional person, or he just liked to do that. And so he was attracted by the beauty of Leto. And then he got Leto pregnant and have a twin baby. And this had been found by Zeus' wife, Hera. Of course, who will be happy that her husband got if your husband get with other woman, of course you will be angry, right? So Hera, this beautiful lady, she is also very, very powerful. So she said, oh, I'm so angry, I need to do something. So Hera appointed a python, a big, huge cobra-like, a big snake, let's say, and it looks so fearsome. It looks like a huge python, cobra, snake, like a dragon. It just use your imagination to see it. So this is the python that in Greek mythology is not a computer language, not cobra language, not Python language. Okay, make a little bit distinguishment between that. So the python had one job. He had a job and one job and only one job. That is to chase Leto. Because Hera was just very jealous, right? She thought, okay, I cannot punish my husband because he was powerful, but I can punish the woman that my husband has hurt. This is kind of unfair, but yeah. But that is the history. So the python chased the beautiful lady, the pregnant mom, Leto here and there, and Hera not only led the python to chase Leto, to chase her, but also she had a rule to everyone, every single one, human, god, anything in this whole wide world. No one ever, never, never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever, never allow Leto to land on their land, to give birth on their land. So Leto has no place to go, right? He need to hide around and run around with a baby in her stomach, with two babies in her stomach. That was very, very tough, right? And just 天无绝人之路, heaven does not put an end to something if it is not yet the end. For some reason, Leto, that pregnant woman, found a place. That place is a floating island. And this island is called Delos. And this floating island, always floating, never stops, always floating. So that was not the land, right? So the island will not be punished by Hera, by God, because it's not land. And Hera said, Leto cannot be on any land, but this is not a land, this is an island. So Hera went to that land and landed on Delos, this island. Bing, immediately this island stopped, become a stationary island. That's magic. How we do it, heaven knows. Yeah. So Leto gave birth to two beautiful children, but one at a time. First, she gave birth to a beautiful young girl. She's no pain, no suffer. Ping, that little girl came out. It's a girl. Yeah. Came out very healthy, happy, smiling. Yeah, it's just a perfect little girl. And her name is Artemis, the goddess of hunt and Yeah, Artemis is one of my favorite, and I have a friend named Artemis, and yeah, she was very beautiful, and she grew up so quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 hours. She grew up into a full functioning human. You know, our human, my son, start to walk at 1 year old. Your son, your children starts 1 year old. 3 or 4 months, they cannot even turn around, right? But Artemis, she grew up, not yet a full-bodied a person, but a very functional young lady after just 9 hours. And I was just thinking, Greek mythology, there is a lot of things about this number 9. Yeah, there is another incident that also about 9. I think I forgot exactly right now, not on the tip of my mouth, but in Chinese mythology, 9 is a very mysterious and very very solemn number, or very very important number. And we say 6 is a good number, 8 is a good number. All this, it's north or south of China are different because of pronunciation. But number 9, anywhere in China, is very much respected, especially in ancient China. If you go to temple, every steps, the stairs, you go upstairs, or buildings, the stairs, the temple, the modern building are different. But the old ancient time, you go to temple, you go to the palace, Chinese palace, it's always the multiple of 9. Isn't it interesting? I actually counted. We went to Gugong, the Forbidden City. 9 steps goes to 9 or 18 or 27, something like it. It's always the multiples of 9. Because in Chinese, 9, the pronunciation of 9 is 9. And 9 means long, means forever, longevity, forever, long life. So, and also 9 is a number that almost infinite. You go to 1, 2, 3, 4 until you count to 9. That's the end of the world. That feeling. And then 10, you turn to another digit. It's starting again. But 9 means infinity, let's say. Means infinity. Okay, come back to Greek mythology. I'm a little bit bring in everything in this story, because I think if only telling Greek mythology, there is something that you can get anywhere, and other people tells much better than me, right? And there is something makes me different from other people. First, I have a sleepy voice. The second, I want to do this cross-cultural comparison kind of a storytelling. And it brings, you see, the whole world seems in some way, heaven knows, in some way connected, interconnected, interwoven, right? Maybe that's the truth of universe. So after 9 hours, Artemis grew into a full function. She's very capable, and she helped mom later. She helped mom to deliver the second child, and the second child is her twin. And girls are so easy. the first girl, Artemis, came out, come out easy, happy, and no pain, only gain, and just so easy. And the second boy, oh boy, so difficult. Later suffer so much. It just does not come out. The mom tried to push and do gymnastic and stretch and push and take deep breaths, count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just does not come out. And with the help of Artemis, finally, I did not know what Artemis has done. Maybe give a kick. She does not look like she pushed and helped, or pull the leg of, or pull the head of her little brother. Anyway, at the end, the little boy came out. That was Apollo. Yes, Apollo came out. I think heaven knows it is fair, with all the trouble, with all the difficulty, with all the pulling, pushing, and Apollo did not change the head face. The head, when the baby first came out, some of the baby head have different shape because of going through mother's channel. And Apollo, however it is, 4 days later they grown up. Artemis and Apollo, they grown up. They become a pair of the most beautiful, brilliant brother and sister. Oh, I love them. And Apollo is the god of music, is god of poetry, and he was very talented. And he can play beautiful music, almost as good as Eurydice. Orpheus. Eurydice is his wife. Okay, Orpheus, and Apollo played just beautiful music, and he's very bright, brilliant, and he's the god of prophecy. He can see things, brilliant, smart, and in good shape, beautiful shape. If you see, there is a sculpture, ancient sculpture. If you check Apollo and Daphne, the most beautiful sculpture in the whole wide world. Maybe David of Michelangelo, but anyway, it's such a beautiful. Check the name. So Apollo is very, very beautiful, and because of the suffer they went through during the childbirth, Apollo grow up very quick. In 4 days, he is full grown, still slower than his sister, right? Artemis takes only 9 hours. Apollo takes 4 days. He grown up, he became a beautiful, handsome, talented, and capable, strong, and swift young man. And he knew his mother's story. His mother was chased by the python. So he determined, I am going to avenge for my mother. I am going to settle it fair and square. I am going to settle this. This cannot, I cannot just swallow this. So he chased around. He looked around, search here, search there, search here, search there. Eyes on the left, eyes on the right, and ear to the left, ear to the right. He was searching, and finally he found the python, the big, huge, gigantic, monstrous, like big snake, like like python. He found the python and he started to attack the python. And the python, it's a python, you know. It's not just a little snake, right? It's a python. It's so strong. The python moved around, whisked its tails, and they were fighting. And Apollo jumped on the snake, and the python twirl and bite, and Apollo dive down, jump up, and do all these things. And Apollo also, you know, Apollo is the god of hunt. Also, he and his sister Artemis, they are both very good at bow and arrow. So Apollo, at this time, he thought, okay, I cannot jump with you. I cannot whisk my tail, but I have something that nobody is as good as me. That is shooting arrows. So he started to take out his bow and arrow and start to shoot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anyway, he started to shoot. You know how many arrows he shot? 1, 0, 0, 0, 1,000. After 1,000 arrows, the python dead. He killed the python, and he revenged. He put everything fair and square. Yeah. So once he killed the python, so he was very proud. He was very happy, and so he want to remember this glorious act. So he made a temple, the temple of Apollo in Delphi, and made an oracle of Delphi. And Pythia, which comes from kind of the name from Python. Pythia is the personification of oracle. What do we call oracle? Oracle is kind of a prophecy, is a kind of guess, and it's kind of foreseeing the future. And these words came out from the mouth of Pythia, a beautiful lady. Yeah, Pythia. And oracle of Delphi, it means how do we call it? The final judgment, something like it. A judgment, a prophecy. Yeah. So that is the story of Apollo, Apollo fighting with the python. So what will happen with that? Apollo has killed the python, the most fearsome, the strongest, and the most vicious animal in the whole wide world. What do you feel? When you accomplish to the high peak of the world, you feel proud, right? Who on earth is better than me? I am the best. So he was feeling very, very good of himself. And just at this time, there was a little boy. It's actually not a little boy, a young man. And this young man is the son of Aphrodite. His name is Eros. E-R-O-S. Erotic, Eros. It's from the same word, erotic. Yes. Don't say it. But Eros, use exact the word. So Eros, there was one day Eros and Apollo, I think they knew each other. For some reason, Eros in Roman mythology is Cupid. We always see a little fatty, chubby little baby with wings and a little arrow. It's so cute. Yeah, but in Greek mythology, Eros is very much a full-grown young man, slender body, beautiful. Yeah, so he was having an arrow. This arrow is to shoot out, to make people fall in love, right? So he was having this arrow and playing around. Apollo said, I am the god of hunter. Who are you to play around with this arrow? How dare you play it? It's a shame. You do not deserve it. Because he just fought the python. Apollo have just killed the python, so he was feeling too good of himself. Yeah. And this makes Eros very not happy. You think you are who? I cannot fight you in killing a python, but I can do something else. You know, my bow and arrow also have power. So Eros, E-R-O-S, Eros prepared 2 arrows, A-R-R-O-W-S, prepared 2 arrows. One with the head, the tip of gold. He looked at the target. Shoot out. You know who got it? Apollo. The golden arrow has a magic power to make anyone passionately in love and love the person that the first one come into his eyesight. So Apollo got shot. And immediately he had this passion, he felt hot, he felt passionate, he felt loving, he felt enthusiastic, he felt just overwhelmed with love. He opened up his eyes. He saw a beautiful young lady, a forest nymph. Her name is Daphne. Daphne is beautiful, kind, pure, long flowing hair and slender body and I do not have words. You look at the picture, Apollo and Daphne. Search online, look for that sculpture, an ancient sculpture, and he just fell in love. So much fell in love. Just at this time, Eros, E-R-O-S, Eros took out another arrow, A-R-R-O-W, another pew. This one, the tip is lead. And anyone who got shot with this lead arrow will be passionately dislike someone and will be disgusted with someone. So it's one is passionately love, one is passionately disgust. Yeah. So he shoot out. Arrows shoot out the arrow, and the arrow got to Daphne, and Daphne opened up her eyes. The first person she saw, Apollo. Apollo, the most beautiful, most handsome, most talented, fell in love with this most beautiful girl. And this most beautiful girl, the most disgusted by Apollo. Oh, this is so unfair when I think about it. Well, sometimes life happens, right? So Apollo chased her. I love you so much. I love you, my heart and soul. And Daphne will say, I'm so disgusted with you. And the appearance of you on my side just give me want to throw up. I cannot even speak the word because Daphne is so beautiful, tender, well-educated, gentle. She has the most beautiful language, but she was cursed by this lead arrow, and there is no good words come out of her mouth. Apollo was heartbroken, and so he was trying to chase, and Daphne just tried to run away from Apollo. She ran, and ran to a river. To the river, and just at this time, Apollo was about to catch her. Daphne called, Dad, help me. Daphne's dad was a semi-god, a semi-king, a kind, and also have a magic power. So his dad saw his daughter chased by someone. He didn't see this is a beautiful daughter, the son-in-law. This could be the most beautiful son-in-law and talented. He did not even look at Apollo. He put all his heart and soul into her daughter. And as soon as Daphne's foot entered into the water, she changed. She morphed into a tree, a laurel tree, and yanghaiying. And Apollo finally reached Daphne. But it was no longer her beautiful lady. It's a laurel tree. And you can see, Apollo can see in front of her eyes. The branch becomes twigs. Her hand becomes twigs. And her body becomes trunk. Her feet become tree root. And her flowing hair becomes tree leaves in front of her eyes. Apollo was so very sad. Apollo hugged the tree. This sounds a little bit sassy. Apollo is a tree hugger. Yeah, hugged the tree. And heartbroken, and said, You cannot be my bride, but you are my bride forever in my heart. I will love you, cherish you, respect you, and honor you forever and ever. Apollo picked up a branch of laurel tree leaf and make it into his own crown. From now on, from that moment on, until today, until now, when you see Apollo, he always have a laurel tree crown. And this becomes an honor of glory, of love, of uplifting, of pride. The Olympic champion will wear laurel crown. And I think in French, the academia, they also have laurel leaf or something. A lot of artworks has this laurel as an honor, glory, success, and respect. Glory. Come back to my family. In my backyard, years ago, when we started to plant trees, my family planted the laurel tree, laurier. And laurel tree, in English, sometimes we call it bay leaf. Actually, it's kind of a cooking spice. You will find it. You can dry the leaf and put into your soup, put into your barbecue, put into your cooking, and it has a very unique fragrance. And also, if you pay attention, the laurel leaf never rot, forever green, never goes. There are tree leaves change, but it's an evergreen tree, and the leaf is thick and strong. What leaf? Magnolia leaf is a little bit, it's like shining, glossy leaf, relatively strong, and never get rotten. Rotten. Yeah. And for this reason, my family, my husband, I did not know at that time we thought about this story or not, but laurier was always a mysterious, mystic, magic plant. We always dry it, the tree. It's just outside my window. It's very beautiful, and very strong. And every year we pick up some from time to time. We dry it. We do not eat it fresh. It's not supposed to eat fresh, I think. We dry it, and then when we cook something, we put into the soup. Yeah. That's the story of Apollo and Daphne, a little bit tedious and longer than just Apollo and Daphne. I love you. I really do. Do. Cuckoo, bye, bye.